The government is letting you build a tax-free fortune, and most people are completely sleeping on it. We're talking about one of the most powerful wealth-building tools ever written into the tax code, and the clock is ticking on your 2026 window. Let's start with the magic trick at the center of all this. You pay taxes on your money now, and then the IRS basically leaves you alone forever. That means every dollar your investments grow inside a Roth IRA, dividends, capital gains, compound interest, none of it gets touched when you pull it out in retirement. Here's where it gets even better, and this is the part people always miss. You can pull out the money you contributed at any time, any age, zero taxes, zero penalties. So if someone tells you a Roth locks your money away until you're old and gray, that's just not true. It's actually one of the most flexible accounts in the entire retirement playbook. Now, for 2026, the contribution limits got a little bump, and you want to pay attention here. If you're under 50, you can put in up to $7,500. If you're 50 or older, that number jumps to $8,600, which is Uncle Sam's way of saying, you're behind, catch up. But here's the catch hiding in the fine print that high earners learn about the hard way. If your income crosses certain thresholds, the IRS starts phasing out your ability to contribute directly to a Roth IRA. It feels like a velvet rope at a club. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you get more access, which is honestly a little absurd. Don't panic though, because the backdoor Roth conversion exists precisely for this situation, and it's completely legal. You contribute to a traditional IRA first, then convert it to a Roth. It's a two-step workaround that's been hiding in plain sight for years, quietly used by some of the highest earners in the country. If your employer offers a Roth 401k, that's another door that stays wide open regardless of your income level. The contribution limits there are dramatically higher, up to $24,500 if you're under 50. And for some older age brackets, that number climbs all the way to $35,750, which makes it one of the most underutilized weapons in the retirement arsenal. Now, traditional IRAs and 401ks still have a seat at the table, especially if your tax rate right now is higher than you expect it to be in retirement. The logic is simple. If you're in a high bracket today and expect to coast in a lower bracket later, pre-tax contributions might actually win. It's less about loyalty to one account type and more about doing the math honestly. History keeps rhyming here in a way that should feel familiar. People who started Roth accounts early, even with small contributions, watched decades of compounding growth become completely tax-free income. The ones who waited, convinced they'd figure it out later, often found themselves staring at the clock with fewer options and more regret. The 5-year rule is the one technical detail you absolutely cannot ignore. Even if you're past 59 and a half, your earnings only come out tax-free if the account has been open for at least 5 years. Open the account now, even with a small contribution, just to start that clock future. You will be very grateful. A common misconception worth killing right now is the belief that Roth IRAs are only for young people or low earners, retirees, high earners using the backdoor method, and people in their 50s maxing out catch-up contributions all benefit enormously. The account doesn't care about your age, it cares about your discipline. The practical playbook here isn't complicated. Contribute consistently, don't try to time the market, and treat the annual limit like a bill you pay yourself every year. Position size and patience matter infinitely more than picking the perfect stock inside the account. The tax shelter is the strategy, everything else is just execution. Philosophically, the Roth IRA is a bet that taxes will be higher in the future than they are today. And given the trajectory of government spending, that's not a wild bet at all. Whether you're right or wrong about future tax rates, locking in tax-free growth with flexible access is a rational position under almost any scenario. The beautiful irony is that the wealthiest, most tax-savvy people in the country have been quietly using these accounts for decades, while the general public argued about whether they were worth it. Discipline, consistent contributions, and understanding the rules aren't glamorous, but they're the actual difference between retiring with options and retiring with regrets. If you're ready to stop leaving tax-free money on the table and want guidance on building real long-term wealth, whether through retirement accounts, real estate investing, home contracting work, or finding the right lenders, check out our links in the description below.